You know, for guys like us, nobody really cares about our lives. They don't really care what we're doing or what our dreams are, unless it's something they can try to use against you. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that you have people trying to be all up in your business and they know they don't like you, but they try to see what you're doing, see if you have a job, see when's the last time you had sex. They try to get this information on you, like especially if you meet a new friend group or something like that, and everybody's just talking, and then certain people ask you certain questions like where you live at, where you work at, and these are questions that are just designed in order to try to put you on a pedestal. Basically, these questions are designed to see how much respect they should give you. If you're a doctor or something, people give you respect. If you're just a regular person, then let's say like you're a trash man, then they'll kind of treat you with that respect of that, right? So you have family members who they don't like you, but they'll be all in your business, trying to see what you're doing, asking about you, wondering why you don't have a job. Talk like they'll smile in your face and laugh in your face, and then within 5 minutes go to somebody else and then say, "Well, how come that person doesn't have a job?" You know, or it could be even your friends. It can be anything, There's multiple examples of this and multiple people going through different situations of this exact same thing where they're minding their business and then they got people trying to find out information about them that they can use against them. It's crazy. And these are people that are supposed to be your family, supposed to be people even people you don't know, right? It's just weird when you're a person in this position where you pretty much stay to yourself and mind your business, but you got um, just people who don't like you trying to be up all in your business and trying to see what you're doing, see what you're up to. You know, if you want to know what I'm up to, why don't you just ask me? Instead of trying to spy on me or stalk me or see what I'm doing, it's like, why do you care what I'm doing? Why do you care what a grown random black guy on the internet that just talks about his life period, that just talks about the hell of the world, they talk about our existence? Why do you care so much about that person? You know, it's just odd, isn't it? How people in our position, we we face many obstacles, we face judgments of many people. Even though we're speaking the truth, it's just this world respects the messenger more than it respects what's coming out their mouth. Meaning, if you're a pretty girl, you say you're alone, then you're going to get all the love and support. No one's going to tell you, oh, you need this, you need that. But if you're a guy in our position and you say the exact same thing about being alone, people are going to start just talking about you and start trying to just break you and take you down. It's not a laughing matter at all. But it's just funny how wickedness always happens. That's what's funny is like whenever there's something good, positive trying to happen, something evil comes right along, and it just starts to destabilizing the peace. You know, for guys like us, we've never been the type of people that really attracted, the girls that were attractive to us. Never, never really been the type that had, like a bunch of solid friends who really had our backs. We come from families that are just economically deprived of any resources, emotionally toxic, and just unstable of any type of connections or any type of anything really. And we come from these very hard backgrounds. And a lot of us try to forget our past because our past was bad and it was horrible. And we face horrifying events and things of that nature. But you'll grow up in a family and be the black sheep, and then you have people who you haven't talked to in years, people who don't care about you like that, but they want to try to find out information about what you're doing or what you're up to. If you got a YouTube channel, they're going to secretly watch your channel. It's just weird. It's like, why are you watching my YouTube channel? First of all, how did you even find it? Second of all, why did you find it? Third of all, why are you watching it, and why do you care so much? If you don't like me, why the fuck are you watching my videos? That's what I always say. It's just, that's how you know this is like a spiritual parasitism, like a spiritual parasite that attaches itself to certain people. Because you got to understand, when you have the divine spark, you attract all types of, you attract like other beings of light, and you attract parasites, and they feed off your energy. They know it's real. They know there's something about your soul, your spirit, that it's just not normal. It's not like everybody else. And these beings are just, since they're filled with dead spirits, dead souls, broken dreams, these people have no choice but to try to see what you're doing, see what you're up to. You got that uncle that always asks, "Oh, what are you doing? Oh, how's James doing? He still ain't got a job yet." And it's like, yeah. So you're gonna come with that little slight disrespect, saying, "How's this person doing?" and say they don't got a job yet. And you wonder why people just stay to themselves and don't bother, and just don't bother people, and just stay to themselves and don't want to be bothered. They don't bother people and don't want to be bothered. Yet there's always this foolishness that finds you. You ever notice that? And it's always the wrong people. You ever notice that? The things you've been through in life, if only you would have had some type of real support of people that really loved you and gave a fuck about you, certain things would have just bounced off and it wouldn't have happened like that, right? But a lot of us come from very messed up backgrounds. That's why when we make these videos, people know what's real. The real never gets promoted. Like, you're not going to get views like a Polly Walnuts or somebody like that if if you tell the truth. You know what I mean? You have to like make it like for the normies to consume. So you got to give them hope and say everything's going to be all right and it's all in your mind and all that. Meanwhile, I'm just going to tell you what it really is. We live in a hell realm created by an evil God, an evil being, the demiurge, who creates negative events in our lives on purpose. And you can see the frequency of this, that because some of us that contain divine sparks, we release negative energetic manifestational frequency. We get loosed, and upon releasing this energy is what the demiurge needs to basically survive and keep on ruling. And we produce pretty much infinite amounts of this energy because our souls are from the divine. So that's why the demiurge uses our souls as batteries. See, that's not going to get 100,000 views unless a pretty white girl says it. A blonde hair, blue-eyed European female saying the exact same things I'm talking about. She'll get 1 million views. She'll get 1 million views. People will support her. People will love her, and everything will be all right. But as a guy in this position, people say they want the real, they want the raw and uncut until they get the real raw and uncut, and then it's too real for them. That's how I know they fake. That's how I know most people really live boring, mundane lives. Most people don't really go through the extremes that I go through, and other people that we go through. Like, most people don't go through that shit. That's why they're fascinated, because their lives are so boring. They have everything they want, or if they don't have everything they want, they're just not in a bad position that we're in, where we don't got no place to live. They got to have, and that's something with the wickedest bastards. They have a place to lay their head at. You, a person that doesn't bother nobody, and you ain't got no place to lay your head at. You ain't got no place to call home. You ain't got nowhere to go. But the wicked ones, they're the ones that are living in their own homes and houses. So where's the God's justice? You know what I mean? See what I'm talking about? This is a dog-eat-dog world, man. It's like it's why I don't really trust anybody no more. You know what I mean? I don't trust people. I don't really talk to people like that either, I only talk to a small select amount of people that I give access to. Other than that, I don't really mess with people like that. I just keep my distance and mind my business and stay out the way, honestly. It's just too much evil, black magic, shadow magic, blood magic, just wickedness going on. You don't know who the hell's doing what. And it's just, it's not my type of parade, man. I just wanted to just talk about, how my emotions. My grandma passed away. I never knew that my channel would grow this big or anything like that. I didn't fucking know. I wasn't even going to make a channel. And I hesitated on making the channel for a little bit. Like when I originally started. I was like, fuck it, and some people say my videos help them, so I guess it's a good thing, right? But in the demiurge's world, it always comes with the good and the bad. Imagine a family member who doesn't like you comes and finds your channel, right? Finds your channel, watches every video, sits there and watches with his friends, and his friends bring their girlfriends and they comment on your channel, and it's like, who are these people? Why are you watching me? If I didn't have a channel, you wouldn't give a fuck about me. It's like, is what I'm saying that powerful? All I'm saying is just my perceptions of reality, and everybody's perceptions, really. It's an evil world. Most people agree that we live in an evil world, Most people agree that people treat you based on your looks. What am I saying that's a lie? What am I saying that's wrong? I repeat it. We live in an evil world, and people judge people based on how they look. If I was a European person with blue eyes and gold hair and I said the same thing, it would have a million views and everybody agreeing. I don't know. Basically what I'm trying to get at in this video is, isn't it strange how people who don't like you seem to want to find their way and get into your business and try to know everything about you and try to see what you're doing and see what you're up to? It's like, I thought you don't like this person. Why are you acting like some type of criminal investigator trying to see trying to see if this person is getting more better than you, or it's just like some type of competition? Like, you have people in your family who have these one-sided competitions with you. Like, you be sitting minding your business and they're sitting there plotting against you. You know, they're sitting there trying to, spit in your food, literally trying to sap. They're doing biological, psychological, physical warfare against you, and you're sitting there just trying to pour your Cheerios, and mind your business. But this person is looking at you locked on like a heat-seeking missile with hatred and envy, and just trying to destroy you. And we're surrounded by these evil bastards, by these evil people. You can never trust nobody who can never be real with you. If somebody can't just come up to your face and say, hey man, this is why I don't like you. If somebody can't give an exact reason why they don't like you, and they just try to laugh it off, joke it off, they're never given a serious answer, then there's something really wrong with that. Because if you haven't done anything to nobody and somebody chooses to bother you, somebody chooses to mess with you, somebody chooses to try to start a one-sided war with you, and you don't even know this person really exists, or you don't really know that this person, in your family is even like you don't give a shit about them. Like, you don't care about what they do. Like, you're not worried about them, but they're all worried about you. They're all in your business, trying to see what you're doing, trying to find out about you. It's like, that's weird. It's like, I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a regular guy. Like, I don't know what's so interesting. If I release music, no one wants to listen to it. People want to listen to me talk more than they listen to my music. So it's like, it's nothing special, right? I'm just a regular freaking person. It's weird. It's strange being treated like a celebrity when you don't even have the money of a celebrity. It's weird. It's a strange feeling when you got people in your family or people just trying to look up information about you, trying to find things out about you, just weird. It's a very strange thing, We live in a very strange time. And very strange and weird people. And some of these people in your family, whatever, you don't want nothing to do with them. A lot of us, we face so much hardships and we face so much destabilizing situations that we kind of we retreat into isolation, because isolation provides a haven. Isolation provides a haven from the decimation and degradation of this evil nation and the people around it who keep farming our loose energy. So we isolate ourselves from this. We try to as best as we can, but even then, there's always something that's going to try to mess with you, something that's going to try to bother you, something that's going to try to pull you down into the abyss. There's always this negative evil about this world, this negative tinge about it, and it's disgusting, honestly. But guys like us in this position, man, I know a lot of us, we feel the loneliness, we feel the isolation, we feel like we feel like we really want to just keep to ourselves, right? But deep down inside, I know a lot of us want a woman. I know a lot of us want a girl. Let's just be real. Like, being alone is cool. You have your isolation and peace, but sometimes you do want a partner there. You do want somebody to hug with, somebody to eat with, somebody to get freaky with, somebody to get, somebody to watch cartoons with, or watch anime with, watch movies with, watch your favorite Netflix series, Maybe your girl's in a good mood because you laid that pipe down good. You hit it from the back, you hit it from the side, you hit it from the front. You hit it from all angles and all ways. Now she in a good mood. She hop in the shower. You hop in the shower with her and hit it from the back again. Y'all get clean. She goes and start cooking some food, some late night food. Some spaghetti or something like 2:30 in the morning. Just some shit that you do when you're high and horny and you in a good mood. You're like, man, Just memories like that. You walk in the kitchen, she wearing the booty shorts. You getting the spaghetti ready, chopping up the sausage and all that, cooking some of the hamburger meat, just smelling that food, you're in a good mood. You got your money up, you got your honey, life, you feel invincible, you feel indestructible, you feel incorruptible, you feel this sensation of strength and power. Then reality hits, and we're trapped. We understand we're in this moral disposition. We're in this calculated hell where we're forced to work a 9 to 5 that we really can't stand, to be around people who can't stand us, and to be regulated to a world of limitation, to be involved with such a sick, twisted world, and we have no choice but to be involved with it. You know, it's it's really brutal if you really think about it, how this world operates on the pain and suffering of others, and how wickedness and evil gets away. You know, like when wickedness gets away with something and they don't get caught doing it, they get bolder, they get stronger. They think they can do it again and again because they haven't been caught yet. So this is why evil must be stopped in this world. All the wickedness and all the evil, it must be stopped. It has to be. But the proliferation of this evil is coming straight from the demiurge as well. All this agony we go through is not accidental, gentlemen. Don't think it's just an accident. Oh, my life just sucks. It's an accident. It's my fault. Oh, I'm such a loser. It's my fault. No. How are you a loser when you didn't even get a chance to choose your race? You didn't choose your face. You didn't choose your height. You didn't choose some of the most essential and fundamental things about yourself. Yet you're a loser? No, you're not a loser. You're a survivor. You're surviving in hell. You're surviving a hell realm that's meant to torment and break gods. Very few other beings can say that they're in a hell realm that's designed to break them down, that's designed to make them drown in sorrows and misery infinitely. We got to have some type of victory, and then the small victories we can have is saying that we're strong for going through this hell, for going through this pain. Don't let none of these normies try to tell you, don't let none of these people, who have bigger channels or whatever, and, they act kind of weird, and these people be saying just blue pill stuff, and they wonder why their videos go viral. It's because the videos go viral because you're telling people what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. They need to hear that when they pass away, there's going to be a hell to expect. They need to hear that this world is misery and evil and wicked and sadistic and twisted. They need to hear that there's no hope. What hope do you have when in the last tears you haven't even got no ass? And you're talking about having some hope. You think you're going to just become a millionaire in the next 2 years or something? That's bullcrap. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is going to be a lot of people having mental meltdowns and breakdowns. We've seen a few of those recently. When people just lose their minds, and then they think it's, Grand Theft Auto or something, an Echo on some PlayStation. Yeah. It's really sick, honestly. How as grown men, we still haven't found peace. We still haven't found it. What peace do we have? Struggling to pay bills, worrying about how you're going to get this extra couple of $100 to pay your rent. If not, you're going to be out. And the damn landlord already gave you a warning or two. And they said the next time ain't going to be no mercy. And most landlords would give you no mercy from them. So now you got to find out how to hustle, So what you going to do? You got to think outside the box, and then there's so much other things that go into it, You could be trying to do your thing and trying to mind your business. And then you got you could have some type of weirdo person who you don't know following you, watching you, seeing like just like, you know what I mean? Trying to sabotage you, or trying to destroy you, or trying to, what these people could be thinking. That's the crazy thing about the internet, man. It's like if you do make a channel and you do gain traction, just be very careful about some of the people that are watching you. Me personally, I never thought that I'll even get any traction. It's just that, I didn't think people would like me, at all. So that's why I didn't really care back in the days. I used to make a few videos talking like this, and maybe they'll get 100 views, if that. Some of them nothing, right? But just understand that. Just be wary that there's some very strange people on the internet, like very strange people, like people that you would never encounter in real life, who you would never, like, if in real life you wouldn't talk to them. Like if you were in class with that person, you would stay far from them. Hell, you probably even switch classes because that person seems like they'll just do something bad one day. Like the recent events we've seen. So there's some very strange people on the internet. You got people who say they don't like somebody, but they follow this person to the extreme, to like it's almost like worship. It's a crazy feeling, especially when you're not nobody, especially if you're just a regular person, a regular average Joe. You're not famous, you're not rich, you're struggling every month. You try to make videos to try to maintain, but that becomes a drain, because it's like, it's not like you're getting millions upon millions of views, and like, and it's so it's like, that's, and it's just strange. Then you got just weird family members who just, they don't like you, but they're obsessed with you as well. They're watching what you're doing, seeing what you're up to. And it's like, I'd rather both those types of people to just leave me the hell alone and don't bother me. I don't want nothing to do with any type of weirdos or people like that. I don't want anything to do with any type of family member who's not no family member of mine. I just want to mind my business, you know? I just want to mind my business, and just any way I can help people that are going through these situations we face, hey, that's what I want to do, man. Because I wish there was somebody my age when I was 19 or 20, telling life like how it really is. No sugarcoating, no bull crap, no trying to, lie to people and give them a fake reality in their minds because you don't want to scare them. None of that crap. Just tell them the real, right? This world is brutal and this world is cruel, man. And a lot of us, we've been locked down for so long. We've been in this position for such a damn long time that it's like, what do you really do for real? You know? How do you gain an advantage in a world that is created so you can be at a disadvantage at all times? How do you do that? How do you win in this world where the world is designed to break you? The world is designed to snake you. The world is not a fair place, and then certain people who get to have a good life, they have connections due to their parents, their uncles, their moms, their dads, people like that. And they make sure that that these people get into good positions where they can win in life. A lot of us, we don't have any type of connections, man, and that makes life extremely difficult. It makes life extremely hard. You know, um, it's it's ridiculous, man, how this world is and how this world functions and how this world operates. It's no one can tell me that this world is not designed to pick up on your worst fears, pick up on your worst weaknesses, your worst insecurities, and then maximize that. You know, the fact that we didn't have a chance to choose how we would look like, to choose that which is the most important thing. That should tell you everything. Notice how everything else is in your hands, but except how you look like. Doesn't that seem like somebody like a video game developer saying, "Oh, I'm gonna give you infinite health, but if you get hit by it, but if you freaking breathe air, you'll pass away." It's like, what? How's that infinite health? That doesn't even make any sense. Just like it doesn't even make any sense. Oh, you have freedom of will, you have freedom of choice, but you can't decide how you look like, and people treat you 100% of the 99%, 95% of the time. People treat you based on how you look like 100% of the time. But right? 100% of the time, 1,000% of the time, people treat you how you look like. That's just being real, right? But yet you don't have no power over that. Yeah, you don't have no power over certain people who are in your life. Certain people who are in your life, you don't even want them to be in your life, but you have no choice, right? There's certain people who you have to go to work with every single day. And like these people are people who you wouldn't even look at online. You wouldn't even associate with them online. Hell no, you don't want to associate them in real life, but they're right there in front of your face. So you have to associate with them in order to get the money, in order to pay your bills, so you can rent and pay more bills and pay more bills and pay more bills and pay more bills with more bills and more bills and more bills. And then one day, it ends, and then you're in the Dark Souls boss battle in the spirit world, and you'll be like, damn, he was right. I'm like, oh, well, I hope you're prepared, because it's gonna be a final battle. It's really disparaging how when you think about this world, there's there's really no hope for the future. Now, I hear young kids talking about they can't wait to go to college and all that. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, a lot of people going to go to college, but a lot of people are going to fail it. People going to drop out. People going to get pregnant. People going to pass away. It's like right now you're young. You're 19 years old. So you think that the next 4 years is going to be good or whatever. But you don't know your dad, when you're a sophomore year in college, your dad can get cancer and pass away before you even end that. And then that can make you go to drugs and then make you quit. And then boom, like life, this shit is unpredictable, but it's predictable when it becomes the evil. So I see a lot of these kids, like they're young. They don't know about the demurers. They don't know about loose farming and soul trapping. They don't know. They think bad events just happen just because that's just the way life is. Not understanding that is that this shit's designed to lose us. It's designed to get the negative energetic manifestational frequency, point blank, period, you know? So yeah, that's all I want to say. I just want to just talk a little bit, you know? So you guys stay strong, man, and I'll see you guys later. Peace and much love. 100.